Hello everyone, it's Mills in the upper right hand corner, and I am looking at some websites that used to be associated with Thinkfinity.org. This is not from one of the two websites that were included in the assignment, but I think you will find these websites very interesting, and some of them have interactives and mobile apps associated with them. Thinkfinity.org is a website that no longer exists, but 8 years ago it was selected as a top website for free educational resources, as you can see. And it was sponsored by Verizon, and I guess they lost their funding. But Thinkfinity was an umbrella of excellent websites in each of the major subjects, and each of those websites were co-sponsored by the leading organization in the country for that particular subject, such as NCTM for mathematics, which is National Council of Teachers for Mathematics. One website we will look at, Read, Write, Think, is sponsored by NCTE, National Council of Teachers of English. And there's similar websites for science, economics, geography, the arts, and social studies, more or less. And the website that I'm going to look at in particular is Read, Write, Think. But I first want to show these other websites to you because if you teach any of these particular subjects, the lesson plans on these pages are excellent. The lesson plan database. So Read, Write, Think is what I'm going to come back to, readwritethink.org. But I just want to point out Edcitement, which is sponsored by the National Endowment for the Humanities. Unfortunately, Edcitement does not have any interactives or mobile apps, but it does have an excellent lesson plan database. You can filter by literature and language arts, history and social studies, arts and culture, and there's unit plans in there, very interesting things, as you can see in the left hand side here. So I'm going to close out Edcitement. It's sponsored by the National Endowment for the Humanities. I'm going to move on to the National Geographic website for teachers, and there's great lesson plans. But unfortunately, there are no tech interactives or mobile apps that I could find. You can see that there's activities here, but I don't think those activities include a technological component necessarily. But just very quickly here, I'm going to filter by lesson plans, and anyway, actually, I'm going to move on for the sake of time. But you can see there's a lot of really cool lesson plans. This is my sort of subject area, geography and social studies. So I'm going to move on to math. Okay, so here we are on Illuminations. Illuminations, sponsored by National Council for Teachers for Mathematics. Here you have their lesson plan database, but I think you have to be a member to join the Illuminations website. This is the only one of all these pages where you would have to pay, or your school would have to pay. But they also have interactives. I'm going to move on to the next one here. Some interactives. There are mobile apps on Illuminations. So, anyway, I'm going to move on to science, AAS. So there are tools. They call it tools here, but there's lesson plans as well. But there's tools. So I saw one for... I thought I saw one for like a brain, parts of the brain that you could sort through. See if I can find it. Anyway, this is the lesson plans. So it's called Science Net Links, but the science organization is AAAS. So I'm going to close out of that. Anyway, they call it Sites and Tools on Science. Econ Ed, they have some interactives here, like for their the lesson with car shopping. You can download an app to the Car Shopper app to as the students go about identifying the pros and cons of a new vehicle. And then I'm running over time here, but the Arts Edge website, I forgot there are no interactives here. This is sponsored by the Kennedy Center for the Arts. But what's cool is that you can sort by, integrate the arts with other subjects. So I'm going to close that out and come back to Read, Write, Think. Read, Write, Think is sponsored by International Literacy Association and NCTE. And if you go up to Classroom Resources, lesson plans, student interactives, mobile apps, and down on the left side here, you can sort by grade level, lesson plans, mobile apps, the learning objective, and the theme. So let's sort by mobile apps. I'll click on mobile apps, and then I'll filter by, I'll filter by critical thinking as my learning objective. Bear with me here. And I can refine it further by the grade level. So we'll do 6th grade. The grade band is pretty broad, as you can see. So it's either usually K to 6 or 6 to 12 or 3 to 12. And you can do it by theme. The one thing I don't like about this is, well, I'm not teaching right now, but I just have an iPhone. I don't have an iPad or an Android, so I can't access any of these mobile apps. And for the interactives, it's just Flash or Shockwave. But I guess apparently Shockwave is no longer being supported, and Flash won't be supported after December of 2020. I don't know if that's on the Read, Write, Think, or maybe that's on the, maybe Adobe is not supporting Flash after December of 2020. Okay, thank you. Bye.